Grand Rising, Sister Laura. How are you today?
I'm very well, Sister Letitia. Grand Rising to you on this beautiful Saturday morning.
It is very beautiful, very beautiful.
I'm so blessed.
So just some quick questions. Firstly, what was your impression of the first retreat that you came on?
So my first retreat, when I came on the first retreat in May, I didn't have any expectations because I didn't know what to expect. But when I got to Portugal and the teachings that Brother Tarun was offering to us, I came away with a new perspective of life. And it was over and above my expectations. I thoroughly recommended this retreat to so many friends and family, and I definitely said that I would come back on another retreat because I wanted so much more. There was so much that he was offering, and the teaching and the knowledge that I have is imparted on me. I have taken that away with me, and I'm using those teachings in my life. So I feel that I've got more inner peace and inner joy within. It's just been amazing. The first retreat, I just thought, oh my gosh, this is life. This is how life should be. And so I recommend it to everyone just to come and have a taster to see how we should be living in joy and peace.
Oh, that's beautiful. So now you've come back for a second time.
Yes.
So how have you found it this time around?
Wow. So this time, because I had the first experience, I actually thought it would be on a similar level, but Brother Tarun has gone even deeper. And for me, this one was even better than the first one. I can honestly say, because some of the work that he was doing with us, like going to the beach and we were doing the cleansing with the chakra stones and in the group, and it was just so powerful. And you come away feeling so light and you appreciate everything that's around you. And I think sometimes we take things for granted in life, but it's when you go within and you're finding yourself, that's when you understand who you are, because you're in search of self. So for me, I have got a deeper understanding of who I am. I thought I knew who I was, but doing this course has given me a greater insight as to the beauty that I am within and all around me, and the love that I have for life.
Oh, that is beautiful. And lastly, how have you found it working with Tarun and the rest of the Transcending Matters team?
This is my family. You guys are just, when I tell you, professionalism, love, and nothing, you go over and above and beyond the service that you provide for every individual. Everything you do has come with love, smiling, encouragement, and I recommend this to anyone who wants to experience the joy within. And I would just say that everyone needs this. Everybody needs this. I really do feel that.
Oh, thank you, Sister Laura. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Letitia. It's been a pleasure. Thank you.
You can't have a new blessing and an old order. Every so often as you get new blessings, new opportunities, new doors, new positions, new children, new life, new marriage, new house, new whatever it is, you have to refocus. Now you got more weight. Now you got more responsibility. Now you got more demands. You have to refocus, restructure, reorganize. Are you organized for what you prayed for?
I'm not trying to be the everything, because if I am, then I've stopped growing. The best people out there in every circumstances, be it business, be it relationships, dad, father, husband, CEO, employee, wherever you are in your category, you have a willingness and a desire. Those are the best people. If that's your DNA, have a willingness to grow, a and a desire to be better, you're going to win. Never, ever, ever give up.
This is breaking news, announcing a captivating presentation that combines cutting-edge strategies, transforming insights, and practical tools to revolutionize your life. You are invited to this powerful presentation this evening, free on Zoom, hosted by myself, Tarun Hari, sharing the Empowerment Blueprint. Om Shanti, Namaste, greetings. Hi everyone, thank you all for investing your time into coming along to this Empowerment Blueprint presentation. What you will receive from this presentation is first of all, you will definitely get a transformation of mindset that is going to change your limiting perceptions, not beliefs, something totally different, perceptions. And it's going to give you a new edge and a new playing field to play life with. A new set of rules. Secondly, you're going to get the removal of unconscious obstacles to your own well-being. And again, this is going to empower clarity and direction. And finally, a complete whole self-guiding system that will revolutionize your life, save you time and money, all by implementing a unique, streamlined coaching system with all the secrets installed that delivers results. That's what the Empowerment Blueprint is all about. If it sounds good to you, let's dive straight in. Good, wonderful. So we are now entering the presentation of the Empowerment Blueprint. And basically, this is at the heart of the agenda this evening. First of all, let's look at who is this for. People seeking guidance for mental health and emotional well-being, seeking assistance to overcoming obstacles and limiting beliefs. Maybe you're looking or exploring holistic approaches to physical wellness, exploring strategies for managing anxiety, depression, and other mental health concerns, learning about mindfulness and meditation practices, seeking help in improving decision-making skills and problem-solving abilities, seeking guidance for spiritual growth and inner peace. Also, this is going to be for mentors, people who are looking for a good mentor, such as myself, mentors who are looking for a structured mentoring program to enhance what they're doing. Maybe you're looking to compare systems or looking to see what you could add to make yours better. Maybe you're looking for career advancement or change. Maybe you're looking to gain insights into strategies and best practices for yourself. Or maybe you're looking to joining an accredited mentoring program. So this presentation is going to give you complete clarity and direction. It's going to save you time and money. It's going to give you a complete mindset transformation, practical application, real, tangible, powerful change, streamlined coaching system, like I said, and immediate practical tools that you can apply with deep insights. So the first question is how we're going to go through this, and we're going to go through it step by step, the journey of discovery, how the system came together, the role of the mentor. And the role of the mentor is the transcend system. The role of the client is the matters system. And what I mean by that, it's the role of the mentor to transcend the client, and it's down to the client to do what matters. And this is so important for keeping the client on track, or even keeping yourself on track. So this is going to give you a complete system with the mindset of how it actually came together and the bits and pieces. So with a powerful system like that, you must be asking, who am I that put this all together? Well, my name is Tarun Hari. I am the founder of Transcending Matters, with expertise in Vedantic philosophy, which is the study of Vedic literature, including the Upanishads, Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and so forth. Its physical counterparts such as pranayama, meditation, yoga, qigong, and also Tibetan bowl sound healing. I am a certified and accredited mentor, life coach, NLP practitioner, hypnotherapist, and counselor. So away from gaining all of this knowledge and experience, I want to share with you that I am passionate, really passionate about this subject, and it's so dear to me. So let's get straight into this. And like I said, I am extremely passionate about my whole entire journey. And the journey of discovery, I put it down to my level of assertiveness. And again, what we're talking about is perceptions and not beliefs. I'm not here to attack beliefs. I'm here to overlook perceptions that create beliefs. And these are the things that we really have to be careful of. But before going to primary school, let's say, the first thing that I want to introduce to you is thinking about a part of yourself that has always been the same. It's never changed. If you go into a space of stillness, you will realize that there is a part of you that you can remember about you all the way to a toddler, and it's never changed. It's there, deep in you, within you, seeing its uniqueness from how it sees the world. And when I started going into school, I noticed something. All kids notice it, especially in the process of reprimanding. There's this concept of trying to fit in. And the rules and regulations that are kept in place to make sure that you fit in to a program that doesn't match your uniqueness, it really starts from an early age. Then the church came in. Now, please do not start shooting at me because I'm saying that. Please just bear with me. Let's get through this. And you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about, perceptions. Now, when I used to go to Sunday school, it used to be one of my most exciting times to link up with the kids, and it was fun. And then we had to sit down and keep quiet and don't move. And the striking thing that really started to sink in the church setting is that there was a false sense of happiness, like no one was really truly happy, and we had to get into this somber mood. It's like the joy was the last thing. The only explosion was, I'm going home on the morning train. I'm going home on the morning train. In the evening train, maybe to. I got kicked out of the band because I was too lively. I was too, whoa, this one on the bass. No, man, please calm down. Sister David, calm down your son, because it's too worldly. It's too worldly. We need him to calm down a little bit. And I got kicked out of the band because I was too lively. Again, I remember at my mother's 50th anniversary, I was the last person to speak. I had locks and so forth at the time, and they asked me, this young white dog. And I said, the one thing that I've noticed with Christians as general, I'm going on. And when the time comes, it's like there's this whole cover. No, we don't want her for that yet. We don't want him for that yet. No. There was this whole coveting of the idea. I thought you wanted to go. So now you go when you don't want to go. It was like it was discombobulated. And as a young man, I remember I said, you know what? I'm not going to give up on this concept to try and understand exactly what is going on there. I need to take it deeper than just on the surface from the cultural perspective that I'm brought up in. And it's not to say that I didn't find no value in the church. When the church life came into our life, it was a beautiful experience. It was a beautiful, we weren't born into it. It was something that was an additional as we grew. I think church came into play when I was about 8, 9 years old. So I was very conscientious of the switch and the dynamics of, okay, when we go to church, you have to sit down, you have to be quiet, you have to blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool, let's roll on. So from there, I had a natural instinct to go and look at theological mindsets, look at the whole concept and start to break down what is going on with this whole religious thing. And there was this sway. I came across the blueprint, atheist, agnostic, gnostic, theist. And, you know, the stronger the belief, you can have a strong belief and no knowledge. You can have a strong knowledge and no belief. You can, and I'm saying, wow, all of this, I'm looking at the map. So if you had strong belief and strong knowledge, where would you be? And this kind of took me on a mission to say, you know what, I am going to challenge this and become as knowledgeable as I can and believe through experience. I've got to make the experience count to make beliefs work. And off I was. Thinking through this, thinking through that, and literally, you know, coming across different scenarios, I entered into a world of knowledge from all different places, Kemetic literature, the Tao Chi Gong, the Bhagavad Gita. And this is just a couple of the esoteric stuff. The esoteric stuff really gave me a big, broader picture of just having a construct of just beliefs. And all of these sources of knowledges was pointing to a theme which the belief aspect lacked. And the knowledge was pointing to see that what you believe is actually you. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm beating myself up and going through all of this. I said, okay, I've got to bring some regulation to this. And while I'm through this whole process, this concept of that resonates through all of the religions now start to becoming relevant, appropriate, and da-da-da-da-da. I'm thinking, okay, okay, I'm diving, I'm digging. And at the same time, I want to keep a balance. I don't want to be too esoteric. I don't want to be too out there. I don't want to be too fanatical. I don't want to be too spiritual. So I've dug deep into going into real applicable psychology. I went to the Regent's University School of Psychology and Counseling and done extensive courses, NLP training, anger management, psychology, my degree in psychology. And it was almost like, especially with the NLP, married with the whole concept of esoteric knowledge, I saw myself as, I was like, oh my gosh, this is fascinating stuff. Am I actually allowed to believe what what this knowledge is asking me to believe about myself? Do I dare? And now the psychological stuff is almost like it's proving the spiritual stuff. They're married hand in hand. And I'm like, I've got to push this further more than hearsay. Now I've got this stuff, I need to go on a journey. And off I was. I was off on a journey. And as you can see, this journey was the building blocks of how the system came together. This is where I first came to India, probably 30 plus years ago, to get my initiation into Vedanta. Normally on a Vedantic level, it's 12 years to study a Vedantic course in a university over there. So I went really deep into the deep end. And this is me now, many years later, understanding the whole system, teaching that entire system, and creating building blocks for others and a life that works. So how did the system really come together? At this point, I realized the nuts and bolts, the divide between spirituality and religion, and the overlap. But more importantly, with the spiritual side, it was a fight to have that mean anything in this society. It's almost like it's shoved to the side. It's not, okay, all right, whatever, yeah. It's yeah, whatever. Whereas the language of Vedanta, the language is you need the spiritual process to be of anything to yourself. Now, I started to battle with this concept of spirituality, and it really started to get on my nerves, to be honest. And the resolution to the whole thing was understanding consciousness at play at large. Take away the spiritual connotation and just go with the theme of consciousness. Now, in the study of consciousness, there was an overlap in seeing how consciousness is perceived to be playing out. Exactly on a religious context, there's a theme, an undercurrent theme to cultures, and it's collectivism versus individualism. And it's the same blueprint with religion, it's the same blueprint with the schooling system, it's the same blueprint with and I'm going, oh my gosh. I see the blueprint. What's going on here. I see what's going on. And in collectivism versus individualism, there's a striking difference in how and what happens in the process of growth, even in the process of individual growth, because it's disregarded on many levels, unconsciously. So individualism versus collectivism explained. Individualism is the philosophy that advocates for freedom, independence, and self-reliance. Collectivism, on the other hand, is the idea that emphasizes on group harmony, interdependence, and cooperation. Now that's putting it nicely. That's a very theoretical way to put it. But in the world that we live in, there's not many groups that are in harmony. There are not many groups that are interdependent. Most groups are attacking themselves internally. And there's no cooperation. So living in a collective society that is attacking your individualism and forcing you to think and be and behave and fit in has you completely plugged out from your central point of view, your central alignment. And what you find out as you go deeper into the studying of looking at behaviors right across the world and looking at traits of individualistic cultures, you see that they're more self-sufficient, their uniqueness counts, they have better autonomy, and they're more independent. So in the Vedantic teachings and all of the Om and this and that, it really put a sense on consciousness resounding around and owning individualism. You have to own it. Most of the times, as soon as individual scenario comes out, it's like, oh no, you're standing out. Oh my gosh, you got to fit back in. Collectivism, we. This is the identity, the we. What does that one think? I don't know. How does people going to perceive of me doing this? Control is relational. It's like there's more people and scenarios have got control of you. Outcomes have got control of you. Perceptions of what's going on and things that are playing out have got control in you. Then your ability to make decisions for yourself and your own growth. Your goal to sit around for the group, oh, what's this one doing? Oh, that one, oh, I've got to go and help this one, I've got to go and do that. I'm going to do that. You need to do that, do that. We're yearning for a sense of belonging. We end up with type A behavior where we don't know how to say no. We harmony with others. This is what we internally search for, but we don't really get it because no one's harmonizing with our uniqueness. Social relationship, the hierarchy. Oh my gosh, I don't even want to open that kind of worms. And again, actualization is done through group goals, and the individual doesn't really benefit from the group goals more than feeling that they contributed to something. So you completely lose all the meat and bones of understanding of what it means to be individual. You're scared to stand out. You're scared to move forward. You're scared to take risks. You're scared to... Because everything else is judging your world and you don't even realize it because of the heavy programming of collectivism that's going on. You have to make your uniqueness count. You have to make your beliefs count. You have to... And, you know, I went into it like a madman. I didn't care what people thought I was thinking, what I was doing, how I was applying. I was fighting, falling into this trap internally, making sure that I set up a program for myself that defeats this social programming that literally, it doesn't, regardless of culture, all cultures are getting, you know, Indian, Polish, blah, blah, no one's fitting in. Everything is under stereotyping, discrimination, prejudice, and in-group favoritism. The whole thing is topsy-turvy, and there's no space for the individual to count. So to really fight against this blueprint, you need to now have a strategy and say, okay, what is it? What are the templates? What are the cornerstones? How do I know that I'm doing it well outside of the noise programming? Because the noise programming is never going to agree with what I'm doing. It's always going to be it's always going to be discriminate. How do I step away and feel good within myself? Commit to believing, knowing, applying. This was like things like 2 weeks silence. I'm doing things like 2 weeks silence with nobody around just to clear out noise pollution. I've gone to the Himalayas, I've gone here, I've gone there. I've gone deep into understanding the flow of consciousness. And the reason why I took myself clean out this up is so I'm not in any form of collectivism or individualism. I'm just with me. I'm just with me so I can observe wagwan. And in the whole thing, what I noticed deep is that there was a big difference how communication has now been taught and pushed and bred. So mass communication, where we're through schooling, through social media, through all of these things, this is how we learn to communicate. And this is broadcasting information on a wide audience through media channels. And interpersonal communication, we've lost the ability to be direct. We've lost the ability to be face-to-face. We've lost the ability to communicate with different types of people. We're so mass communication programming, we're indirect. This is how we're programmed. And the backlash to that is living on the edge of insanity, dopamine addiction, bad diet, social media flooding, commercialism, living above your means, worried about your bills. And this is considered a normal way of life that they want you to accept under the idea of collectivism. You just don't count. And you lose the power to be direct and immediate with verbal and non-verbal cues. You lost personal conversation skills. All of the stuff on interpersonal communication, this now becomes a horror show. Most people don't like to be bearers of bad news. Most people don't know how to say no. Most people run from problems. Most people, have this paddle boat kind of aspect to like don't go out too far. because the sharks are out there, not realizing that you're badder than the shark. So that level of deep programming that I went through in tying all of the aspects of the training from Regent's College, all of the insight that I got from my spiritual travels brought me to really marrying a system that is going to really come together completely. And it was a beautiful blessing to see that NLP had a important component within it that dealt with purpose and spirituality. And this was for advanced NLP practitioners. So it's when you go into the advanced stuff of NLP is when you're exposed on the master level, purpose and spirituality. And it was a beautiful, beautiful thing to finally marry everything in my head, for me to believe and realize I am designed to be a winner at life. I am designed to be a winner. No one ever told me. They told me to fit in, they told me to do this, they told me to do that. I'm designed to be a winner. All the skepticism, all of it is because no one ain't giving me the information that is there on autopilot to be a winner. I'm designed to be a winner. Oh my gosh. What a revelation. No one ever told me this. Everyone said, you gotta do this, you gotta do that, you gotta fit in, you gotta do hard, you gotta blah, blah, blah. No one told me I'm designed to be a winner from the off, from the barn, without the schooling, without the this. The blueprint is that you are designed to be a winner, and collectivism don't tell you that. They don't tell you that. They hide that from you in every way, shape or form. And everything that's instilled through programming, i.e. TV, this, that, social media, it's got you thinking otherwise. Concentrate on the fact that you are designed to be a winner. Concentrate on the fact that you are designed to be a winner, and it's only noise pollution of trying to sort out discombobulated beliefs and stories and scenarios that are made up from a collective point of view and trying to fit in with it to say, yeah, scrap that. You're bigger than that. You're bigger than your culture. You're bigger than your status. You're bigger than your label. You're bigger than any credit or discredit that this world can ever give you. Don't even worry about the accreditation or the discreditation. Be you. And now I'm in fire. I'm in fire mode. When I'm designed to be a winner. I'm off. I've gone into this whole thing, calm, protecting my bliss, protecting my joy, protecting my goals, protecting my flow, enjoying the growth, enjoying the expansion, enjoying the giving, enjoying prosperity, karma, enjoying the process. The default program under collectivism is don't stand out. Don't even try to dare to stand out. Don't even think. The world can crack on with what it's doing. It's your universe. It's your universe is bigger than the world. Trust me. You just got to align thought, consciousness, flow in a pattern. Owning that pattern. Being a spiritual warrior to that pattern of being. Knowing that you're designed to be a winner. Like Moses was told, I make you Lord over Pharaoh. It's all in the mind. So, the big difference in potential benefits of spiritually compared to traditional religion, and this is again the same blueprint collectivism over individualism. You're going to find flexibility and individualism in the case of spirituality. Spirituality is more flexible and individualistic than organized religion. Spiritual beliefs and practices can be tailored to the individual's own needs, values, and experiences rather than follow a strict set of dogmas or doctrines. This can allow for more personal and meaningful spiritual growth. So while I'm reading this, change the word from spirituality or spiritual to conscious. So again, broader perspective. Spirituality or consciousness often takes more of an expansive view, looking at the interconnectedness of all things and our place within a larger universe. This can foster a sense of awe, wonder, and connection that goes beyond the human-centric focus of many religions. This is your elevation. This is your prowess of being divine, locking it off to say, yeah, well, I'm this and I don't mix with that and blah, blah, blah. You're shooting yourself in the foot. Do you even really know? Keeping up all of this compartmentalism. It's the compartmentalism that's creating limiting beliefs. You've got to let go of the compartmentalism mindset that collectivism has now brought about. Emphasis on experience. Spirituality places a greater emphasis on personal experiences, insights, and intuitions rather than blind faith or codependency on external authority figures or sacred texts. And you know, for those that have come on my courses, you know that I'm always on about the codependency thing. You have to be accountable. Whether you're religious, spiritual or not, the ultimate thing is accountability to make your spirituality or your religiousness come to fruition. It's your accountability that's going to count. Acceptance of uncertainty. Spiritual perspectives tend to be more comfortable in ambiguity, paradox, and the unknown aspect of existence. This can be preferable to the more definitive and rigid worldviews promoted by many traditional religions. And the biggest one is karma. When everybody's saying, yeah, you get some bad karma, they're saying, everybody's on this karma thing, karma, chameleon. Karma, bad karma, good karma, this karma, that karma. Really, accept the flow. Accept the flow. Go with the flow. Search for the silver lining in the flow. There's gonna be ups and downs. It's designed that way. It's never gonna be perfect, but you can have the perfect mindset to go through it. That's the whole difference. So the holistic approach, spirituality often adopts a holistic view to human experience, integrating physical, mental, emotional, and mystical transcendent dimensions, i.e. you don't see people doing yoga in church. This can lead to a more well-rounded path for personal growth and development. So when you go deep into Ayurveda per se, there's not an element of your being that is missed out in nourishing, aiding, and aligning. 7 levels of being are studied to a real in-depth degree. And finally, non-violence and tolerance. Many spiritual traditions emphasize values like non-violence, compassion, and tolerance for diverse beliefs. This can make spirituality less prone to the kinds of religious conflicts and dogmatisms that have fueled much of historical violence and oppression. So there you can see it. I was off on my conscious tantrum. I've got all the psychological tools, the NLP tools, the spiritual tools from Ayurveda, Himalayas, Radha Kund, and I'm off. I'm off, and I'm off, and I'm off, and I'm living the time of my life. I reached to such a height. Was it 2019 I moved to Portugal? the beauty of the growth, I've reached a point now where Sister Letitia, we was talking the other day, because Soulful Connections is a one-day retreat series that we do in the UK. And in passing over, building a team to continue the Soulful Connections retreat without me here in the UK, it was the first time I saw Sister Letitia actually have threat in her eyes. Do these people know what they're doing? And I'm like, come on, man, these people have been here with this. Yeah, but you haven't trained them or nothing. I'm like, and I've been telling you, you gotta train people. And many of the Conrads, the beautiful Conrads that's grown along, has seen the need for Transcending Matters to grow, to bring on more people, to expand this flourishing movement. And where it's got to in my life, I really understood the whole circle, and I got trapped in my bubble, understanding the karma, pleasure, this, that, and it's again the total, the Bible's saying this, that, and the other, blah, blah, the meek shall inherit the earth, blah, 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 and da, and collectivism. Collectivism really is propagating fear of loss, fear of death, fear of poverty, fear of love, fear of being. And breaking all of those things and being liberated, because through the concept of liberation, when you hear it on a spiritual level, you first think that it's talking about liberation. When I get to heaven. No, literally, when you study this thing, it's being liberated from concepts that keeping you imprisoned right here on this realm. The beauty of the marrying of these concepts of how consciousness works brought me to a place to understand how to nourish both my mortal and immortal side, that they work in unison, allowing fructification to bloom and groom without anybody else's opinion, hearsay, this, that, and the other, blah, 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 ya, wah, 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 yaga. So, basically, you'd be saying, okay, well, very nice, Tarun, blah, blah. What has he done for you, really? So this is my life in Portugal. And this is what I want to share with others so they can achieve. This is me and my beautiful Letitia, the joy. So the office, this is what you're actually seeing. This is our little office. And at the top, that's our garden. Looking down, the garden is actually on top, it's outside of our bedroom here and so forth. The only reason why I'm allowed to show you this is because we are actually now doing solo retreats and so forth. So we've literally just upgraded our program. There's my journal. That's what work looks like. That's what recharging looks like. This is when I first got my bowls, and I'm so enthusiastic. Again, I plan to get those bowls. I got the bowls so fast. Through my methods, within no time, I had managed to get a proper set of bowls from Tibet, handmade for Transcending Matters. So this method it works. It's worked for me. That's the book that I wrote, Way of Life, 52 chapters. That's me teaching on the Soulful Connections, events, doing Tai Chi. There's a picture of my Sufi seafood, where I'm holding the bowl. My first martial arts teacher, who's now, after many years, we're now together again. Back.
Hi, Tarun.
Yes.
I'm not seeing the slides. I don't know if anybody else is, but it's kind of stopped. I don't know if it's me or if everybody else is seeing them.
Let me have a look. Let me do a new share.
Yeah, I can see the slides.
Oh, can you?
Through here, yeah. Somebody else has said they can.
I can see the slides as well.
Okay.
I can see them as well.
Wonderful. Beautiful. Thank you all for that. So again, this is where it's got me understanding the power of my individualism, understanding that I was designed to be a winner, and understanding creating a system that keeps me being a winner. And so now we go to the real deep stuff. Now I want to show you the system, and it starts with the role of the mentor. And this is something that is really serious after many years. I'm being really serious about this. The role of the mentor, you're walking into an unseen, there's no clarity from the client and from yourself. And first of all, you have to be integral to the situation with yourself to ask yourself, do you want to deal with this? Have you got the real skills to deal with this? You have to be able to see past the situation and see yourself as, I've got this. If your client sees nervousness in you, that's it, you're done. You're like, oh my gosh, you're done, you're finished. Your poise, your starting point is to stop. Stop. The first thing is to stop. More look for reasons not to do it than to do it. And reason why I say that, it's again from a very authentic point of view. And when I mentor, I'm strict. I've got such a procedure. Like, unless you really want to be mentored, because we don't want to waste each other's time. We don't. Some clients, they're afraid of me because they know I'll get them to change. This is how bad it is. Like, okay, maybe, I'll leave that till later because, So you've got to understand there's a whole process of gauging and understanding how you create clarity for yourself. And even if you're mentoring yourself, there's a whole process of how you create clarity in moving forward so you understand your journey and the client's journey. This is very important. You must be able to see that clearly. And there's a way to do that. And it always comes down to this. This is the whole blueprint. This is the crux of where it all starts. Fear versus love. People are scared to use that word love, life's optimum vibratory energy. And again, there's a whole process of how you gauge, and it's through observation, through questions, understanding what they fear and what they love. And sometimes what they love may not be helpful. You have to get a full, clear picture of the balance of consciousness that's moving in their head. And the way that's done is through looking through a particular lens that you can see what they're conscious of, what they're perceiving, what are their triggers, their non-conscious perception, and their blind spots. The thing that they're not considering. You have to be able to oversee that. Like, okay, they're not seeing that. That's their problem. I've had clients that once you start going down the blind spot, oh wow, I didn't even, I want you to talk to my wife. No, you're the one that's doing, you do the work first, because once you do the work and change how you deal with your blind spot, it will definitely affect them. Don't get me involved with the wife. What are you doing? This is about you. And sure enough, once I got them to address their blind spot, so there's a whole way, a whole method of, again, understanding their conscious perception, their non-conscious perception, and a way to be linguistically correct in dealing with what they're not perceiving. And the way how that's done is through a thing called threshold of liminality. And it's quite easy to sort of understand from the way how I presented it here. In conversations, in talking with someone, you could hear if they're more fragmented in their conversations. I don't know, I broke this, I want that, I need a new car, I need money, blah, 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 blah. I haven't got enough, lack, blah, blah, blah. Now you know that they're really on the quantities side of life. And they're more objective than subjective. And they're fragmented. This is keeping them in an epistemological space. This is what is known in psychology. They're in an epistemological space. They're locked in a very small space. One of the biggest problems is over-jumping the mark, over-jumping the position. Like, you understand that they're in a deep lack in the quantities aspect, and you're talking to them about coming into being. You've not even addressed relationship or quality. You're never going to get there. There's a whole transition that it has to kind of step by step fill all the gaps. You can't go, yeah, you need to pray, you need to do this, you need to blah, blah. And there's no concept of qualities being brought into the argument. There's no balance, there's no step by step that brings them from the threshold of liminality, from quantitative thinking to qualitative thinking to coming into being. This is a very important process. Everything that I'm gonna explain in the system is, if you miss out one thing, the whole thing is gonna drop on its head. You miss out one thing in this system, the whole thing drops on it. It's because you're force ripening the situation. And this is normally the situation. You have to understand the tipping point. The tipping point, it wouldn't be everybody that's heard me talk about the map of consciousness. But it's a very important map in understanding your client or yourself and the ladder that you have to create to bring someone from a forceful to a powerful point of view, from weak to strong. You have to have therapies that deal with all the segments to get them from that point to that point, 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 that point to that point. If you don't have therapies or scenarios to deal with that, to cross the bridge to the next, to cross the bridge, if you don't have a system that allows you to grow, to cross the bridge, you're going to always keep hitting a point, tipping point, you're back down. Tipping point, you're back down. Tipping point, you're back down. That's the point. I can't get through this. I can't get over this. Because you don't have a system in place that is pushing you beyond. So, as the therapist, these are the things that you have to influence. These are the things that you're nurturing. The ability of rationalization, willpower, short-term memory. Sometimes there's an over-exaggeration on trying to eliminate bad behaviors rather than programming in new ones. Like, program on the becoming. And if there's more attachment that is now attached to the becoming, the bad behaviors fall off by themselves. If there's too much focus on the bad behavior, how can I stop you to do that? You as a therapist, like I'm saying, these are all the things that you have to be able to jump in, take control quickly. And it's not that you're telling them, but these are the things that you have to be able to affect. And this is the system. This is the system. Transcending. Transcend. The first aspect, the T, that's time out. Time out. And you have to be able to go through this 6-step process in the timeout. So even if you're even going through your own self-healing, your own process of breaking down the situation, you have to be able to go time out. That's the first process of any form of healing. Time out, plug out, time out, stop. And in that time out, you're now monitoring. You go into a space of monitoring where you have to be able to influence the client or yourself to monitor your situation like you're not in it. And there's a special technique, what they call in psychology is the hot air balloon, where you take the client and you bring them in a hot air balloon meditation where they're not completely attached to the feelings. You take them out so it can be monitored properly and you can now make a proper decision. The next thing is establishing control and borderlines. As a mentor, you have to, it's more important to establish control than care. If you show care at this point, it's not to say that you're not having a compassionate thing, but they're coming to you for you to take control. And most of the times, in ill cases, scenarios and bad habits and so forth, and blah, 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 there's a thing known in psychology as hidden consent of hypocrisy. Hidden consent of hypocrisy. And even when you go to a mentor, you're going to try to wing the mentor under your hidden consent of hypocrisy. So you have to establish, you have to establish that you're not going down that road of hidden consent just by being nice. And then there's a process of how you gather information, also gathering trust, gathering authenticity. You can gather information just by observing more than what's coming out of their mouth, and you can establish a much deeper level of trust and an allowance for the client to give you the ability to analyze the situation properly. It's a very important process. And until you kind of got that situation locked, and then go into a process of developing in equal perceptions that you're both now understand the process of development. And then you go into the implementation. So even on your own work, there's a whole way to monitor, establish, gather, analyze, develop, and implement. And this is all done in the timeout period. And again, you can't jump onto any of this before you do this. You miss this out, this will all fall apart. Now, here you see sales on this side and you see marketing on this sales. Now, when I'm saying sales, this is what you're selling to a client. This is what you're getting them involved in after you've established this. You're selling recalibration, you're selling allowance, you're selling nurturing, you're selling strategizing. Your marketing commitment, your marketing elevation, your marketing neurocognitive development, and your marketing determination. But there is a whole system, like I'm saying, in this flow, that once you finish the T and you go on to R, A, N, S, C, if you master these steps properly, the client automatically does this on their own. Well, not so much on their own. It's easier for you to guide them through elevation, neurocognitive development, and determination. You've sold them the dream, they're on it, and even that, you've sold yourself the dream. You're on it, you're on the uplifting, you're on the program, and then there's a natural swing to get back into recalibration, allowance, and so forth. Now, on top of this, like I'm saying, there is nuggets on each elevation and each aspect of this. Let's dive in. Recalibration. The process is to restore, reinvigorate, and redirect. Restoring is easy. That's easy. Everybody loves a bit of therapy, a little bit of pampering, a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Now the reinvigorating and allowing accountability to come into play, we meet the idea of subjective objective and the approach to the blind spot, which you would have highlighted, and I'll come back to that. And in this now, once there is a solid agreement through the restoration and invigoration process, if you've done that right, then the redirection will become easy. If you don't, it will become hard. Most of the times is getting people to move, to redirect. They know the problem. I've been in this relationship for X amount and blah, 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 X, Y, Z, the rest of it, da, da, da. That redirection, if you don't know, if you haven't done all those other steps, again, you jump into a thing and you say, come, let's talk about redirection, and you've not done these things, it's going to fall apart. All the hard stuff, I will show you again at the end how we achieve this to help reinforce, get in redirection and all the other aspects. The next one is allowance. And this is through creating agreeance, accountability, and growth. And it will get deeper. Nurturing, normalizing, nourishing, and negative eradication. And this is why old habits die hard. And this is where you're now going to get the biggest confrontation. And it's only after you reach nurturing do you now show a bit of care to your client. Once you've got to this point to say, okay, let's deal with the old habits and get into strategizing. And this is when it really gets deep, because in the skills development, we're looking at internal skills to develop resilience, emotional intelligence, focus, adaptability, and self-awareness. After we've done that, we go into self-confidence. Now you've done that, you can now go towards success orientation. The reason why this is hard, when the strategy becomes hard, is because people have a fear of setting goals. You need to overcome the fear of goal setting. And if you don't know how to set goals for yourself, this is going to be, again, I've done courses on goal setting, very powerful courses that are available for everyone to get their hands on. So I will also make that available. And this is when you hit that strategizing, there's a particular way, and being expert at it to get someone really intrigued in goal setting. Because once you manage to master this, then your life becomes easy. Introspection, accountability, and growth in the space of commitment now becomes the real balancing point, because comfortability is now where you're challenging their comfort zones. You can't make it too hard, because that sense of failure, I didn't do it, I didn't reach there, that 0.5% incremental growth that I keep talking about, one step at a time. So, content appropriate it's not a one glove fits all. I do a morning meditation for everyone to come. It's a beautiful experience. If people approach me with a particular problem or a particular scenario, I will then say, okay, I'm going to make a meditation series just for you and what you're talking about. You can come out of the morning meditation. This is now just for you, and boom, flying off. So make it content appropriate. There is generalizing the application of general tools, but you have to have specific tools that target specific areas. And this is where you have to know your field. Like again, in the beginning, like I said, be authentic. most clients, most therapies out there, and it's really sad to see, because they're not content appropriate, they end up as, what's the new phrase? Talking mentals or talking psychology, you're just talking, nothing changes, you just talk, you're doing a bit of writing here, then just talk, yeah, I needed someone to talk. Talking counselling is coming like it's the new parenting, but nothing is changing because there's no plan, there's no structure, there's no theme of, okay, this is how I'm authentically dealing with this one client to make it content appropriate and colourful, that they engage, that they actually, oh wow, this is brilliant. I'm in. I'm committed. Again, if you haven't timed out properly, if you haven't done all of these stages and you've reached a commitment, if you haven't recalibrated, if you haven't created allowance, for them to allow, if you haven't nurtured, if you haven't strategized, how the hell are you going to get them to commit? I sometimes go to these workshops and I'm watching and I'm thinking, oh my God, the damage that you're doing by throwing the client from here to there to here to what are you doing? So part of this is, again, I'm sincerely giving this blueprint to help people come with a structure that also helps themselves and people that they're working with to get results. And then we get to the elevation, introspection, accountability, and growth. Enthusiasm ignites your self-development journey, empowering progress and infusing it with joy. And you hear me, my joy, I love a joyful conversation. I love a joyful lecture. The amount of lectures on joy that I've given, the relevance of joy. The relevance of joy. Oh my word. Most of the times, I've known clients that's been going to therapy and now they are in a madhouse. And I'm hearing the therapist tell them some things, and the direction of what the therapist has got, there's no joy in it. There's no this, there's no... Yeah, what are you getting them to commit to? Oh my gosh, this is going to crash. I'm seeing these crashes all over the place. You don't understand the quadrants of joy. What are the elements? How do you not fake this thing? How do you really implement these characteristics into your client, into yourself, that you're like, yeah, I'm loving this elevation. I'm loving this engagement. Engaged self-development fuels passion, sustains motivation, and catalyzes meaningful transformation. And the big one here, this is where it's all at. This is when you're, like I said, if you get all the rest right, and you get you got the client to E, and they're really excited about E, and ultimately, the key word is epistolate. Like in the beginning, you'll be coming from an epistemological point of view, and we want to bring it to a osmological point of view, open-minded, a more broad-spectred, a more universally applied, understanding collective, but owning your individual and making it count. And this, one of the hardest things to do, and getting people to write things down, writing things down, writing your goals, writing. From you can train your client to be a writing addict on the right things. Now you've got a chance of success. And the key thing, the client has to see you writing. And not just like writing notes. Writing really exciting. There's ways to, not even writing, drawing. There's ways to draw wonderful mind maps of how your client is thinking. They see that like, wow, this is wonderful. And you teach them how to create mind maps for themselves. You literally structure their new writing experience. What they was robbed of from in school or whatever, whether they're dyslexic or whatever, la, 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 la. You're after getting them to commit to pen to paper. Yeah. That one. You have to have a secret skill up your sleeve when you're taking a client on one-on-one to get them to master journaling. If you don't get them to commit to epistolating, you're dead. The whole thing is dead. If you don't get into it yourself, you're dead. It's not going to move. You're going to always hit that tipping point and come right back down. Tipping point, right back down. Tipping point, right back down. There's a thing that epistolating does. There's a thing that writing does when you're writing. You're not only just writing, you're talking to yourself. You're talking to your subconscious. You're talking to your inner growth mechanism. And there's certain things that you can write that's disturbing. You have to disturb your client's mindset. You have to break your client's mindset. And there's a few things. Like sometimes on the ferocity of a case, this whole system, I know how to kind of implement it. On a good, say on a consultation session, if you're new to this system and you're feeling the client out, you should be able to get around the stop thing and sort of kind of feel what this looks like. Have this in your mind's eye, what it looks like within 45 minutes to an hour. And you have this transcend system in your notes and everything, exactly how you're going to work while you're monitoring the stop process, the timeout process. All of these things, you're starting to fill in gaps. You're starting to think, okay, this is where the client needs to recalibrate. This is where they need allowance. This is where they need to be nurtured. This is what needs to be strategized. This is what they need to commit to. And this is what I need them to epistolate. This is where I need their real engagement, and I need to be skilled in getting them to engage right here. This is the point. And have I got the tools to get them to engage at this point so they can take care of their own elevation? You can't do everything for your client. You can't fake their elevation. They have got to witness it. They have got to experience it. They have got to commit to it. And again, like I said, if you miss out any of these changes and you try to force this, it's like the whole thing just goes, and as you can see, it's a very, very, very specific, streamlined system, like I said. And then we get to neurocognitive development. Neurocognitive development. You see where is it? Notepad. In other words, you're always looking around. Get your client to, where's my notepad? Where's my notepad? Where is it? Look, Panyasa, I'm not even, one my notepad. I don't know if you can see. Those pause. My notepads, journals, tracking datas, notes, more notes, journals, more habit trackers. I'm a beast. I'm a beast. If I miss, one thing that really breaks my heart is not being able. If 1 day is 2 days, hey, 3 days, I'm getting miserable. I'm going off track. I'm allowing weeds to grow. I'm not on point. I've started to. I'm taking on other people. I'm losing it. I'm losing it. Watch out. 3-4 different types of sticky notes. Depending on the urgency, I'll write a note. Hardback notebook. Vision board that I fill in daily. Refreshing my mind. If you don't get the epistolation program in place, the whole thing falls apart. It flops dead flat on its face. Now, again, one of the things that we lost in the ability of schooling is we lost the fun. We lost the fun. And we ended up with more frustration. A lot of people have the fear of writing because the teacher and the red pen and this and that, and the lines on the paper and keeping it straight and blah, blah. When I'm teaching journaling, number one, no lines on the papers. There's a specific way how I teach how to journal. And it enriches the whole process of you have your journal and you have your notepads. There's a difference between note jotting and note-taking. Again, note-taking is the hardest between the two. We're scared to do the note-taking because we don't want to let ourselves down. We get nervous to get into the note-taking, not realizing the note-taking is where the neurocognitive development happens. And finally, determination. So that's the Transcend system that a coach should have in place, or a system similar that is very specific to all the nuances of energy that an individual being can express, i.e. the client, i.e. the problem, i.e. the situation, i.e. having an integral, authentic game plan that you can set out that will transcend your client from the timeout to determining growth. And ultimately, what you want to avoid in your mentoring or even in your self-growth is the pendulum effect. And that's the worst one. The pendulum effect can be really, 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 really bad. You start good, you get further down the road and you're going, yeah, this is really good. And you realize what you've done to make yourself good. And then you stop doing it. And then you end up worse than where you first started. And you know what you're supposed to do, but you make yourself slide down. The pendulum effect is like, oh my gosh, I need to get back. And you lose yourself and you're even further back and you're like, I need to get back. And you lose yourself and you're gone now. And now you give up hope on the system, you're giving up hope and you're giving up challenge, you're giving up the whole thing. This is the matters. This is what matters to the client. This is what matters to the process. This is what matters to sustainability. And again, the exact steps. You can't rush them or overlook. If you look at it, it looks very straightforward in the sense, and if you try and play with the letters in your head and try and twist it around, you will realize it will fall apart. Again, you can't put support first because the rest, you don't know what you're supporting. The client has to build up the support. You have to be able to, you're supporting already. You're the mentor. You have to allow the client to build their own support system through a very specific thing, through anchoring. So the first thing that you have to do is make sure that your client has a mood and mindset regulation program. Whether that's meditation, whether that's breathing, whether that's exercise, whether that is whatever, you must make sure that there is a mood and mindset regulation program installed that is specific to the needs of the problem, that what the The therapy must match in alignment to what the client needs. Then after that, and only then, is when you can address the implementation of activities and habits. It's only then you can look at activities and habits after you see the moonset and mindset regulation working. That's your first thing. Get the mood and mindset regulation to work for the client. Now they feel better to approach activities. If you don't get that mood and mindset regulation in place, you're going to be barking for years. You're going to be like, why don't you try and check? Why don't you come out? Why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? And there's nothing in place for the mood and mindset regulation. Now, that is one of the hardest spaces because people like themselves so much, even when they're in pain. They like their moods. They like their bad moods. They like their bad mindset, even though they know that's something they've got to change. It's like, okay, how do I implement a program to really deal with that without anybody even spotting that's what I've just done? And without even bringing that to the question. Because sometimes, again, if you talk about it straight ahead, the barriers go up. The barriers go up. You know, you need to change your mood and your mindset. That's not the way to say it. That's not the way to do it. But yeah, you are focusing first on regulating mood and mindset. So the key thing when it comes to epistolating, you must be able to, again, in teaching them how to journal, really strikingly, the key secret is writing with vivid descriptions that improve self-perception. So, writing with vivid descriptions that improve quirkiness. Don't worry about errors. When I'm teaching journals, how to do journals, like, first of all, have that scrapbook mentality about just chuck it in, but there's an order. Normally when you're starting your journal, I say you have a date, a vivid description of how to start your journal. You put a date at the start of your journal, and that date is the day you may think that you're gonna die. That's vivid. That's vivid. Then, how many days are left until you die? Did you think? That's vivid. And then, what is the goals and plans to make sure that you reach there and beyond in a optimum, living at your optimum level? How do you reach that point at your optimum level? Now you have a journal. Now you have a weapon. Become more vivid in anything. No, I want peace. No. Sometimes trying to describe a state or the reasons, a good way to create vivid thinking. So you want peace. List 21 reasons why you want peace. Because this, because that, because. 21 times. Push your mind. Why do you want? This is how you create vivid thinking, vivid deep thinking, retrospect, vivid contemplation. It has to literally push your client into a daydreaming space. Like, okay, I'm loving visiting this daydreaming space because the vivid descriptions is allowing me to think beyond just little old me. But my vivid descriptions are a part of me. And the ultimate weapon is writing a letter to your future self, making it positive and based on your ideal self. Not your perceived self, your ideal self. So overall, this simple yet powerful practice nurtures self-awareness, fulfillment, strengthens focused thinking, emotional well-being, and an upward spiral towards maximizing your inherent human potential. Sometimes this is where me and the client fall out. This is where sometimes me and the client fall out when, have you done the letter? Have you done the letter? You've not done the letter. Well, I can't work with you. Let's just forget it. I know you want to pay me good money and all of that. No, no. I just don't want to work with you. You can't. No. And sometimes putting your foot down that hard, and I'm not chasing you for the letter. I'm not you're not interested. So this is where we're going to change. If you're not willing to do this, let's not talk. Forget about it. I don't want to be your mentor. I don't want to work with you. I really am strict like that. I don't want to, you're wasting, we're playing footsies. Now, this exercise is rated as the #1 game changer. So if there's anything that you want to do at the end of this course, for those who stayed all the way to this point, tells me that you're very serious about installing this system and also installing change. If you're serious about change at the end of this seminar, no later than tomorrow morning, you will have pen to paper and you will be writing a letter to your future self. This is what we're dealing with on a visionary level. This exercise embraces a holistic approach to personal development, drawing from diverse psychological frameworks. That's quite a few we're talking about, not just 1 and 2, diverse psychological frameworks that emphasize the continuity of the self, the importance of self-determination, and the pursuit of authentic growth and functioning. The benefits span emotional, social, and character domains, promising a multifaceted journey of personal transformation. When I'm telling you that this is the #1 epistolatory form of exercise that clarifies values and priorities, strengthens and connections to visions, inspires actions towards changes, and facilitates reaching that envisioned future state, writing a letter to yourself is no doubt the #1 method of implementing great change. This type of relationship with your client, you would have guaranteed yourself a client who's ready to work with you on a long-term working relationship. Why? Because authenticity is there, drive is there, a vision is there, purpose is there. You've filled out all the segments of the transcending system, and you've got the client involved, thoroughly enjoying the process with the Matters system. You've now created a unified, coherent, inspirational, and aspirational model for both yourself and the client to work with. Now, isn't that just a magical system? So let's go through this so we can get a clear understanding of the competitive advantages of working with a system like this. #1, the advantage is increased engagement and retention. Advantage #2, you will be making deeper and longer lasting impacts. Remember, keep it vivid. This creates more meaningful relationships, more meaningful processes, more meaningful outcomes. Advantage #3, you're creating more powerful programming effectiveness. This means not only is your client sticking to it, they're loving it. And the outcomes have them smiling like a Cheshire cat. And finally, advantage #4, it's a fast-track method for lasting results. And I don't mean quick fixes. I'm talking about when you use a method, when you use a formula which is easily installable, easily repeatable, and easily adaptable, where the client finds the process fun instead of frustrating. It creates a pathway of least resistance. And that's the most important bit. Once you have a system that has the client engaging so thoroughly, you literally put them on warp speed, on their way to recovery. So to put it into your memory one more time, this is the complete Transcend system. T standing for timeout with the 6 quadrants. And then you have R for recalibrate, A for allowance, N for nurture, S for strategize, C for commitment, E for elevate, N for neurocognitive development, and D for determination. And the client system that keeps them in check in doing what matters is the mood and mindset regulation, activities and habits implementation, thoughts and tactics and targets, tracking metrics and data, evaluate, eradicate and enhance, rewards and celebrations, and finally a support system through anchoring. This is a super effective system, and over a period of time, one who gets to master this system will surely become a master at the art of mentoring. And just to remind you what we've been through and what you now have a model, a powerful template to model from. You also know how I work, which is very important. You now understand my ethics, my method, my authenticity, and my process of achieving maximum results. Now I can appreciate, as I made the system with many years experience in implementing it, some may like to learn the system and how to use it effectively. And you would like to learn the system thoroughly to receive professional accreditation for completing a course. Yes, I have compiled an accredited course to learn the components of this system, not just the explanation, but the components of each segment and the appropriate therapies, mindsets, and practical modalities for each scenario. Like I said in the beginning, I wanted to share a powerful model for those that are in that place that want to help themselves, and also for those that are competent in understanding the model and implementing it for themselves. Also, you may be a professional worker who's looking to compare systems, upgrade systems. I'm completely for sharing ideas. This is how we stay on the edge of things. This is how we improve the technology. So highlighting this complete system, working closely with such a conscientious guide can profoundly accelerate and deepen your understanding and progress toward maximum health, happiness, and your inherent human potential. This system has profoundly changed my life, many lives, and will change many more lives to come. So if you want to reach out to myself or any of the Transcending Matters panel of mentors, we do one-to-one mentoring, counseling, and coaching, solo and personal retreats, and now we are doing coaching retreats. Yes, that's right. Transcending Matters will now be doing coaching retreats. We now have a 12-day coaching retreat planned for the end of September this year. You can escape away to a 12-day coaching retreat and get accredited in coaching with our intensive 12-day retreat. And the accreditation is government standard. So remember, A mentor is someone who sees more talent and ability within you than you see in yourself and helps bring it out. Now, dare I say, that is one of my specialities. I have a knack in giving you the fire you need to achieve the results you deserve. And it will rub off. The more I get out of you, the more you'll be able to get out of others. So if you're serious about coaching, this 12-day coaching retreat is just for you. It's going to be an intense, transformational experience. So when you look at going away for 12 days on such a powerful retreat, you can definitely say that the value lies far beyond any monetary costs. And this is why. You will get freedom and clarity. You will gain transformation and renewal for yourself, your practice, and the way you do things. This is going to give you a greater sense of joy and purpose. In other words, you're going to be loving what you're doing and doing what you're loving. And you're going to be filled with inspiration and aspiration. And finally, most important, the empowerment and drive to achieve will be unstoppable. And for the month of April, we have a special deal that you definitely want to take advantage of. It's 14 days in total and 12 days working. You will also get one-to-one consultation and a roadmap in the field that you want to mentor or counsel in. Also, you will get free lifetime access to all courses on the Transcending Matters new online academy. You will also achieve a blueprint on how to run retreats. I will also be sharing with you my retreats business blueprint. So, with a gold standard coaching retreat, with all of these elements, you could easily expect to pay over £5,500. We are not charging £5,500, nor are we charging £5,000. In fact, we're charging less than half. And the reason for this is we believe in longevity. We believe in the long game. We believe in empowering you. So for single occupancy on the 12-day coaching retreat, you are looking at paying no more than £1,973 for 14 days accommodation, 12 days hard intensive studies, one-to-one consultation, free access to all courses on our online academy, and how to run retreats, with also assistance in seeking work placement. £1,973 is cheaper than a holiday and a worthwhile investment for your long-term growth, personal happiness, career, and having the time of your life. And for those who want to share, we also do double occupancy, everything in the gold package, which is a room with double or twin single beds with an ensuite bathroom. Again, all study materials provided. You actually save even more at the price of £3,245. So that's some fabulous information and insight to inspire you to not only don't just book a holiday, treat yourself to a Transcending Matters retreat. Pop over to the website, have a good roam around, some excellent information. You may find the opportunity to come and join us for our free morning meditation sessions, and we do 2 sessions a day, 6:30 in the morning and 9:30 in the morning UK time, Monday to Friday. Come and join us. It's a wonderful experience and it lines you up to have a wonderful day. Once again, thank you all for investing your time in watching this presentation. This is Tarun Hari, sending you much love and light and looking forward to seeing you soon. Ciao for now. Namaste.